Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to this chair. Anyway, welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. Of course, please visit parishbuilt.com. Parishbuilt.com. We'd love to help you out. A lot of hail in Southwest Louisiana yesterday. So Jennings got hammered. If you know anybody that way, needs a roof inspection, we would love to help you out. Free, no obligation roofing inspection. Parishbuilt.com. Parishbuilt.com. Okay, y'all. We'll say some good mornings here. LSU baseball season certainly on the brink now. Tigers, they've just not been good on Sundays at all this year. And that continued yesterday. Tigers lose 4-3. Um, you know, they gave up a 3 spot there in the second, and aside from that, were really good on the mound the rest of the day. Um, Lower gave you 2 scoreless innings. Ulloa gave you 2 shutout innings. Primo, um, well, Primo hit a guy, walked a guy, did get 1 out, and he was out of the game. But then Christian Little took it the rest of the way, was awesome. Inning in 2/3, only allowed 1 hit, no runs. Um, Offensively, you just couldn't make it happen. So Ben Hess went 6 and 2/3, struck out 10. He was awesome. I mean, he struck out the first 4 batters of the game, if you're watching or listening. But Tigers put together some rallies. Um, they had guys on base with opportunities to win, and I tweeted yesterday. Uh, this LSU team is choked away 2 wins this year, where it was in complete control. We've talked about Florida game 2 and then game 1 against Bama. I mean, games where LSU was in complete control and couldn't finish and lost. And those 2 games right there, right now, are the difference in you being just those 2 games. You finished those 2 games against Florida. Everything else exactly the same. Win game 2 against Florida when you had a late lead. Win game 1 against Bama when you had them down at their final strike twice. And you're at 12 conference wins right now. And you're coming to a home series against Ole Miss thinking, all right, you got to get 1. Win 2, like win the weekend and you're in. Win 1, you're probably in. And I tweeted, look, that's happened to LSU twice this year where they've been in complete control. And it's about time that they got some of the fortune the other way, where you end up winning a game you had no business winning. Because over the course of a 56-game season, those tend to even out, right? You tend to have you have some really heartbreaking losses, but the flip side of it is you also have a win here or there, a game you steal that you had no business winning. That happened. Was it A&M last year where I think maybe it was A&M and Ole Miss last year, how those went. Was that the one that they was game it was game 3 against A&M, wasn't it? Where LSU was total control. I'm looking at the box score right now. Yeah. LSU put up a 4 spot in the first. LSU uh led 5-1 in the bottom of the second. A&M got a run in the third, 2 in the fifth. LSU added a run in the seventh. And you feel like you're home free, and then they put up a 4 spot in the like, you have the game won, and then they put up a 4 spot in the eighth, retired you in the ninth, and they won 8-6. Like, that was one that you had that you let get away. But then the opposite is also true sometimes. 'Cause I think it was Ole Miss. Was it South Carolina? I'm looking at all these box scores now. I just need to do this for AFR later and prep. But anyway, the point being, yeah, that was it. LSU was losing to Ole Miss on Sunday, 6-4 through 8, and they went into the ninth, and Travinsky hit a 3-run homer, and LSU won 7-6, and they stole game 3. Like, over the course of a 56-game season, those tend to even out. For LSU, they haven't evened out. Like, you haven't gotten that game yet where you didn't deserve to win, but you somehow managed to make the play late and win. Um, I was really hopeful that was gonna happen yesterday. Unfortunately, it was, not in the cards. So, Tigers are on the brink now. Their RPI is at 34. You're gonna play Ole Miss this weekend. Ole Miss just took 2 out of 3 from Texas A&M. Their RPI is up to 22. Ole Miss is at 11 conference wins, so they are actually ahead of you right now in the conference standings. LSU still would be in the, uh, field ahead of Auburn and Missouri. Um, so Auburn's at 6-21, Missouri's at 8-19. So in theory, so Auburn's out, but in theory, Missouri could catch you. So you haven't locked up a spot yet. Um, one win this weekend gets you into the SEC tournament. Um, but one win only gets you to 11. So I mean, you'd probably have to go win the SEC tournament if you only got one this weekend against Ole Miss. Two, you probably still need to go to Hoover and win a couple of games to put yourself in position to have a shot. But um, not good, man. That was especially having won 3 straight weekends, including the weekend against number 1 Texas A&M. It felt like you would really put yourself in position to make a push, and Friday night happened. So, okay, y'all. Let's say some good mornings. Please smash that like button if you would. Subscribe up to the channel, Facebook, like the Matt Moscona page, share the post. We appreciate you for being there with us. As always, shout out to Brock. You need an orthopedist, Brock's the best. brortho.com. You need a roof, we'd love to help you out. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. All right, Brant, morning Scone. Thinking how crucial that Friday loss can be. You just know Ole Miss isn't going to allow a sweep this weekend. Does LSU have to win at least 2 in Hoover for the season to go on? I mean, Brand, it's going to depend on what happens this weekend. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I guess you're saying hypothetical if LSU takes 2 this weekend and finishes 12-18 in the league. Yeah, I don't think 1 in Hoover does it for you. I think you need at least 2, and you might have to play yourself into the weekend. Abner, good morning. James Charles, morning. We almost put it off yesterday. This team definitely hasn't quit. If we don't get the sweep against Ole Miss, which is extremely difficult, do you think we'd have to win 3 in Hoover? Yeah, I know everybody's asking the same question, and I'll get someone to answer that today that's, going to be a little more versed in the committee and all that stuff than I am. But, the general rule is you get to 13, and yes, SEC tournament wins count. You get to 13, you're in. But I need to go back and listen because Kendall Rogers said something on AFR on Thursday where it was something like an SEC team that won 12 regular season games has never gotten in the field. Something like that. So I need to go back and clip that audio um, because I want to be reminded of what he said. Because if that's true, and I don't remember it, but if that's true, that an SEC team has never made the field after winning 12 regular season games, that's some daunting history you're up against. Bill Caffey, good morning. Matt Plavidal, we need a catcher in the portal. I mean, look, you allowed a run to score yesterday when Neal let a ball pop out of his glove. Um, it's funny when not funny, haha, but when you go back and you think about how slim the margin is, in the 8th inning, you've got a runner on third with one out, and Larson strikes out swinging. Then Milam sort of had that flare to shortstop. But, I mean, it looked like in the 8th, you were going to get it done. Brown singles, Pearson's hit by a pitch, White singles, a run scores, um, wild pitch. So now you've got second and third with one out. No, with nobody out. Second and third with nobody out and a run home and Jones up. Jones grounds out, but the run scores. So it's 4-3. But now you've got White on third base with one out and Larson up. And all you have to do is put the ball on the ground to the right side or get the ball in the air. And it's a tie ball game. He struck out. Couldn't put the ball in play. Hang on. Sorry, y'all. Drew's backpack was beeping. All right. Somber morning. A really kind of overcast, rainy looking day, too. Kind of fits the mood, huh? Oh, Matt said about a catcher in the portal. Maybe. I think Brady Neal can be fine. And last year, uh I mean, just numbers wise, right? I mean, you're losing Milazzo, you're losing Travinsky. Neal will be back for his junior year. Um, uh, yeah, that's right. You had like three of the top catchers in the country sign last year, but they all ended up going pro. Like Blake Mitchell. Who else? Uh, I'll look up later. But maybe, I mean, that could definitely be a spot. I mean, Brady Neal is going to be in line to be your starting catcher next year. So I don't know that they're going after like a starting catcher in the portal. Um, but you do lose something defensively. I mean, we talked about yesterday. The one thing that I did want to see was Travinsky sit for a day, and they did. They sat him, but they DH'd Larson and caught Neal. I mean, I thought Neal would be in the lineup to have the left-handed bat in the lineup, which they did, which I have no problem with. And Neal ended up going 1 for 3 on the day. But they ended up starting. Um, uh, it was Pearson and left, correct? Um, yeah, Pearson left, Brown and right. Then when Bingham pinch hit, Bingham went to left. That's what it was. Okay. Jeff, what up, my dude? Good morning. Dalton, good morning from Texas City, Texas. Okay. Kelly Gross, what up? Gary, good morning. Two-part question. Without a trip to Hoover and is postseason over? Yes. And how much time is given to the coach when they go to the mound? That's up to the umpire's discretion. It's not timed like the pitch is timed, but they don't let them dawdle out there. Bubba Smith, what up? James McKinney, Rex, Taylor, what up? Did E-Rock get her Taylor Swift tickets? No, she has not gotten Taylor Swift tickets yet. No. Let's see. Guy Brooks. Good morning, Matt. Another Sunday loss in baseball. We need to sweep Ole Miss. That's Guy. That is the surest way to put yourself in position uh, to earn a regional berth. Is you sweep Ole Miss. Now, The tough part about that is as downtrodden as Ole Miss seemed, Ole Miss went and won 2 out of 3 against A&M this weekend. So, who's actually in a worse spot right now? You are. I mean, they're at 11 going, "Hey, we just won 2 against A&M. Let's get 2 in Baton Rouge, and we're in," which is true. Charlie, what's up? Tiger Diver Morning Scone just got back from Vegas. Can't wait to go back for the LSU game. Yeah, man. Opener against USC will be a vibe with LSU fans in Vegas. David, what's the deal with Tigers and Sundays? Pitching depth and or consistency? Yeah, I mean that's of course that's it. You don't have a Sunday starter, um, and so whenever you try to do the parade of relievers, if you pitch 7 guys, it takes 1 to break the chain. 6 could be really good, but if 1 breaks the chain, well, then the whole thing falls apart. That's the issue. Um, I mean, you can go John Pullman and feel pretty good about your chances in most any weekend. But what do you do game 3? You thought you kind of figured it out with Ackenhausen, but you had to use Ackenhausen in game 2. So, which was the right decision, by the way. I mean, you had to win that game. So you used your best guy available was Ackenhausen. So, but that made you more vulnerable in game 3. Um, Brett Gidry, good morning. Ryan Pike, so much for depth in the bullpen. Ryan, I, I mean, that's been a problem all year. I don't know what you're trying to say, but Laura, Ulloa, and Little were all really good yesterday. Um, you know, Dutton ran into trouble in the second. Moffitt came in, finished the second, and you were really good the rest of the way. I mean, you pitched 8 scoreless innings. Well, I guess they didn't bat in the ninth, but so yeah, so 8. I mean, so 7. You pitched 7 scoreless innings, and you gave them a 3 spot in the second. Other than that, you allowed 1 run in the third. That was it. Like your pitching did pretty well on Sunday. It's just like we said, the one guy that broke the chain. Um, all right. Let's see. Spurge, good morning. Dale, good morning. Seth, surprised Jay didn't go out and talk to Herring after that pitch that was called ball 4. That was clearly a strike, you could tell. Usually when Jay goes out there, it's to lift a pitcher. Yeski's the one that does the mound visits otherwise, but I understand your point. But at the same time, like he still made. I'm gonna keep saying it. Like Herring made the pitch against the last batter. Like you're not commenting that. Like you're not posting that comment if Milazzo fields and throws cleanly and gets that out and they win the game. Like you're not making that comment. So Vaughn, good morning. Oh, sorry, we did that one. Trivia, what's up? Kenneth, good morning. Rocky, frustrated with the Tigers. Do we finally stick a fork in them? No, Rocky, because I don't do that until you're done. Like if you want to, fine, but it's why I hate the whole this. It's a must win. No, it's until it's a must win. It's not a must win. Like the season's not over until it is. So okay, Yogi Berra, but you got an opportunity. You got 3 games to play this weekend. You're at home. You've been better at home than on the road. There's no surprise there. There's a lot on the line this weekend, man. See if you can go win a series and possibly get a sweep. Put yourself in the best position going to Hoover and see what you can do. Chuck, good morning. Darren, how'd you like the Dutton start? I know you're high on Hurd starting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that you had any great option. Um, but we talked about it yesterday. I think you had 3 choices. You had Hurd, you had Kate Anderson, and you had Dutton. And the thing about Dutton that I know they liked a lot is Dutton's a strike thrower. Dutton has really this year kept his walks down. So, you know, I and the opportunities he's gotten in conference play, he's been pretty good. I mean, they weren't asking him to extend; they were just asking him to go get 6 outs, maybe get you through the lineup once and hand it to the next guy. And in the second inning, he fell apart. I mean, Dutton's got 3 walks in 23 and a third innings pitched. I mean, he's a strike thrower. He doesn't walk guys, so he's not going to give them base runners. So that was the appeal. Just again, couldn't get out of the second. Rooney, good morning. Congrats on Parrish, Musso, in the Wild. Rooney, I'm happy to report. We'll probably talk about this on the show today. So if you were not here, that's Rooney, by the way, with Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. And Rooney's the one that offered to do. So Friday, I'm not going to go back and tell you the whole story, so we move quickly. But Friday, somehow we randomly on AFR got back to the Matchler, and I reminded Musso that there were two. He got to pick, but there was a girl that I liked her profile, her entry. It's so weird to say entry contestant. I mean, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? That I liked, that I would have picked for him. He went with the other girl, who was lovely, by the way. There's nothing wrong with her at all. They went on the date. It just didn't work. They didn't have a second date. And then somehow we circled back, and I was like, what if the other girl was still willing to go out with you? And so he kind of agreed. So I reached out to her because I had her email from the Bachelor, and she replied, and she's down to go out with him. So, like, a little breaking news here. We'll talk about it on AFR. But anyway, so Rooney said, because I was making a joke, I'm like, maybe they'll go frog, and Rooney's like, we can make that happen. Rooney, she said she'd rather go to dinner than go frogging. But if we do end up with Musso in the Wild, I'll give you a call. Cajun Country, what's up, my dude? Let's see, Matt, can you do a rant on the baseball expert who thinks Jay is a horrible coach and is on the hot seat? I do think Thatcher Hurd not being usable is a complete shock to the pitching staff. Yes. I think if you go back, so anyone who's saying Jay can't coach is stupid. Like, they're not even worth listening to. That's just, it's such a stupid comment. I mean, he managed his behind off last weekend against A&M. The bottom line is, with this team, like we've said all year, you lost everybody, and you missed on some of the guys you thought were going to step up. I mean, you're hurt. If we go back to the beginning of the season, I remember, I think Musso and I did a list of like our top 10 most important players on the team this year. And I think my number one was Thatcher Hurd. Because we were expecting him to be the Friday night guy to replace Paul Scone. Remember, Thatcher Hurd was your Friday night guy to start the season. And he's gone from not only not being your Friday night guy to not pitching at all. Like, he's not in the rotation, not at all. So, I mean, yes, that's devastating. I mean, imagine if Thatcher Hurd was even capable of being your Sunday guy, and you're going, at this point, Jump Holman Hurd. I mean, that's how much different does that sound, you know? So, let's see. Let's see more, Matt. Do you remember where you got that black cup you had yesterday? Yeah. It's called the Echo Go. Echo Go, I think, is what it's called. I can send you a link. Text me and I'll send you a link. Deborah, good morning. Brant, LSU should never be in this position. Number one recruiting class, number one transfer class. I know the SEC is tough, but still. That's fine to say. And by the way, I agree with you. Like, LSU should never be 12 and 18. I'm with you on that. But sometimes you miss. Like, okay, number one transfer class. You missed on Mac Bingham. You missed on, I can't say you missed on Braswell. He's been your starting shortstop, and he's one of your leading hitters in SEC play. But coming into this weekend, he led the league in errors. I mean, you missed on some guys. You know, some guys you expected, you counted on to do more, haven't. Hey, Dad, good morning. Tim Gotro, good morning. Bailey C. Oh, we got like 3 minutes left. Let's see. New to following baseball, how would you categorize this season? A really disappointing season. I mean, at LSU, the expectation is every year, minimum, you're going to be in the top 16 and be a regional host. The fact that you're in the final weekend, you're fighting just to get in the field it's unacceptable. I think everybody knows that. Jay knows that. He knows why he's here. Um, Earl, good morning. Leon, good morning. Series is so frustrating. I think if they can get to the round of 64, they can make a push. So much of that is just going to depend on the draw, Leon. Um, if you get in regionals, it's just where do you go? Because you could come up against a team that has a true ace and handcuffs you and throws you into the losers bracket. If that's the case, you're done. If you get a favorable draw, you could certainly win a game one with either Jump or Holman and come back and win a game two with either of those guys. That puts you in a great position where someone's going to have to go win a game and then come back and beat you twice, and you could advance. And then if you go to supers, you have Jump Holman. You ain't winning a game three. I think we know that much. But yeah, it's a great thing about baseball is that you do have, as long as you're still playing, you have a chance. I'm not sitting here predicting that or telling you this team's going to go on some magical run. I don't think they are, but it's the reason you keep watching because we've seen Coastal Carolina win a national championship. We saw Ole Miss literally be the last at-large team in the field, a controversial at-large, by the way, as well, because NC State should have gotten that bid. But it was kind of like everyone knew on that committee that Mike Bianco was going to get fired if they didn't get in. So they're like, well, at least let's go down swinging. And so they put Ole Miss in. They won the national championship. Fresno State in 2008 won the national championship as a 4 seed in the regional. It was a 4 seed in a regional. That's why they play the game. But it's true. It's baseball's different in that respect. Like, you're never going to see a 16 seed win the national championship in basketball ever. It's never going to happen. You're never going to see a G5 win the national championship in football. It's not going to happen. It can happen in baseball. That's what makes baseball different. You have to have a different mentality when you watch baseball. Courtney, good morning. That's 8:00. I got to go. Earl, Matt, would you rather coach that got in your grill to fire a team up or just Mr. Nice Guy coach? I think I don't have a great answer to that. I think everybody's different. I'm okay being pushed, but I wasn't okay with someone just undressing me for no reason. I think everybody's different. I think coaches have to know how to manage individual players as well. There we go. LSU women's track, SEC outdoor champs. Yep, congrats to Dennis Shaver and the squad. Aaron Hornsby, what's going on? One more Rocky asked, does Yeski return next year? Absolutely, he returns next year. Yeski is a great pitching coach. Like, he is a proven pitching coach. He's won national championships at different schools. He was the pitching coach at Oregon State during all those dominant years. He was at A&M last year. They're pretty good. Like, yeah, you know what happened? You lost Paul Skeens and Ty Floyd. Yes. Nate Yeski will be back next year. Okay, I got to go. Y'all have an awesome day. Shout out to Brock, the Badger Orthopedic Clinic. Parish Construction and Roofing. Go to parishbuilt.com. Parishbuilt.com. Love to give you that free, no obligation roofing inspection. All right, y'all have a great day. We'll see you. Peace.